Oh my God. And welcome to the movie podcast. This is a very crazy emergency episode that we're doing here on Reels, on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts. Wherever you're watching this, Hugh Jackman is returning to the Marvel Universe. And not only that, he is going to be in Deadpool 3 with Ryan Reynolds, who just announced it now on social media. This is our raw reactions. We just finished recording a bunch of other episodes of the movie podcast, which of course you could check out here wherever you're watching this, on whatever social platform you're watching this. Please subscribe to the movie podcast. We have almost daily episodes at this point. You can hear interviews and reviews and all that fun stuff. But let's just get right into it. Shay, immediate reaction to this news.
Look, it's crazy. Not only are we getting, a Deadpool 3, which we always knew. We knew we were getting an MCU Deadpool movie coming out soon. September 6th is kind of where it's looking at right now, 2024. But then the fun banter that Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have had over the years, finally just kind of that synergy is about to happen. We're about to see them on screen together. When we thought Hugh was done, we thought he hung up the claws.
Yeah.
But he's coming back. He is coming back full. It's just coming back. I can't wait. I'm shocked right now. I'm still reading everything. It's all kind of processing.
Right.
I'm reading the words in front of me saying Hugh Jackman returns as Wolverine in Deadpool 3. That's crazy.
I mean, if anyone was going to make it happen, it was Marvel Studios. We've seen already Marvel Studios has, the question of what are mutants going to be in the Marvel Universe and the MCU, what are they going to look like? We know Kamala Khan is a mutant. We know that Namor is going to be a mutant as well, too, as confirmed this week with the Black Panther Wakanda Forever interviews. And again, we've seen mutants in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. We saw Patrick Stewart return. And here we are, Hugh Jackman, probably the most, Wolverine, I think, is one of the most iconic superheroes of all time. Hugh Jackman has made Wolverine one of the most iconic comic book characters of all time. And we're now getting him his return. And we always seen those teases in the Deadpool films. And now to actually have it happen proper, this is amazing. Anthony, what were your immediate thoughts to this news?
I knew it because we talked about it. We talked about this, and we were wondering, where does Deadpool go for the third film? And I'm like, what if Hugh Jackman just came back? And I think we had this discussion. I remember talking to you, Daniel, about it. Like, what if
with Secret Wars, maybe, right?
What if Wolverine was part of Deadpool? And I remember saying, like, it's strange because I would want to see Wolverine before X-Men. And this is it. This is actually happening. I'm not Notre Dame here. I'm not like, but I knew something was off. I think I knew that they wanted to do it because the dynamic between Deadpool and Wolverine, their comics those comics always stood out to me because of their personalities, and they just have this different take on how to deal with situations. And I think their chemistry, even with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman's chemistry, just work well. And it's one of those things that you couldn't have dreamed of. It's happening. This is actually going to happen.
Yeah.
Marvel, they know what they're doing, and I think they did a really good job of keeping the secret a secret. They did a really good job of getting Hugh Jackman, because at this point in time, Hugh Jackman is also 53, and by the time this film comes out, it'll be 55. So it's a lot of work on his body. We always assume that, this Logan was his last film, and now he's coming back. And he's coming back in an MCU type of storyline, which is
what capacity?
So exciting, so exciting. But I can't wait to see these two and their chemistry on screen, because I think that's just like the comics. Like, this is something that I would only dream of happening, and it's actually happening. So.
And that's the thing, we've seen Tobey Maguire come back. We've seen Andrew Garfield come back. We've seen Patrick Stewart come back. Marvel and Marvel Studios and the MCU is making it possible for all of these films that we grew up loving. I loved the original X-Men films. Yeah, there was a lot of misses and there was a lot of weird decisions that were made, but those films are so, like, quintessential 2000s films, and they're like comfort food for me. They're iconic. Wolverine, Hugh Jackman is iconic in them. And to have him coming back in a Marvel Studios film just opens the door for future appearances. And that this is going to be incredible. Again, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have had such a great banter over the last 10 years of, making fun of X-Men Origins Wolverine, and then, with each of their respected films coming out, even in front of Logan, we got that great Deadpool 2, like Deadpool 2 like teaser. Remember with
Short
Deadpool,
film type
that
thing.
short film of him like changing in the phone booth, very Superman like esque. And we've seen teases of Hugh Jackman within the Deadpool films, and to actually have this actually happening now, I've said actually a lot in a very short amount of time. Um, it's so surreal to see this. And again, Marvel Studios is making it happen. They're making these decisions that people always wonder, how are they going to introduce the X-Men? How are they going to introduce mutants? Well, they're going to do it in the most comic book way possible. And most likely it's going to be multiverses. Most likely it's just going to be something that's just pulled right out of the comic books, but that's okay. Like, that's what we want. And that's how you have to keep things fresh. And yes, they're pulling on the nostalgia strings as well, but that's okay. Like, this is something that fans have always wanted to see. People love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and instead of trying to make someone else fit the bill of that, why not just have them in the universe in some capacity, and maybe that opens the door for him to show up in Secret Wars or the Kang Dynasty, or like, there's a lot of different places where we could have this huge collection of superheroes come back. Are we going to see Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman on the screen together?
Oh
Like,
my
these are
god.
things I'm literally getting goosebumps thinking about this, because like, that is such a cool idea that like 10-year-old me, his mind would have blown thinking about that.
Yeah.
Spider-Man and Wolverine are two of my favorite characters, and we're seeing the love put into their films now that it's just so exciting. This is so damn
And
exciting. Oh my god.
we've been getting like teases of Wolverine, and obviously we've been getting full blown teases of mutants. But in She-Hulk, for example, there was references to a Wolverine-esque character, and then we saw the Deadpool shoes that were in the final credit sequences, along with I think
Right.
a Cyclops shoe as well. So
Yeah.
we're there's been enough teases that this is bound to happen, like where we need to see this come through. Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds have been playing the will they won't they for too long. Let's just get them
Yeah.
together, you know what I'm
They've been
saying?
doing the Ross and Rachel, they've been doing the Sam and Diane, and no, it's great to
The Harry
see
Met Sally,
that. Yeah, exactly that.
It's great
It's
dynamic
amazing. Yeah.
because it just fits. It fits, like, even when they're not in their characters, they're great together. So imagine what they'll be like when we actually see them in their characters. So
The
it's
marketing campaign for this movie is going to be unreal.
and Kevin Feige, he's killing it.
A god. A god.
There's a lot of like talk with Kevin Feige and what he's doing with Disney Plus series, and how the last few things weren't up to par to a lot of Marvel fans. And this is him just again coming back full circle and saying, "Hey man, I had a plan. I know what I'm doing. Trust in the process."
Yeah.
He's like Giannis right now. It's just not Giannis, is Joel. But it's just funny that we are going into a multiverse type of storyline. Correct? We know
Yeah.
this is
It
Wolverine
sounds
from a
like it is, right?
different timeline, different. Who else shows up? Do we get the old X-Men back? Is that something that we see eventually one time? We have two of them. Halle Berry could show up as Storm.
Who knows?
Look, I just saw John Krasinski right now retweet it by saying, "Wait, is this our movie? Is John Krasinski coming back as Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Reed
Who
Richards?
knows?
What is this? Like, there's like the internet knows how to just absolutely mess with us. They know how to
Yeah.
just trigger us. So yeah, this is crazy. I wonder what this means. Oh man, there's just so much happening right now. There's a lot of fire.
There's a lot of fire, but also
September
when you think
27th, 2022 is a day that will be remembered for all these
it will be.
craziness.
And and it's wild too, because almost a year ago we got that reveal that the Wolverine game, the Insomniac game, and now a year later, here's another Wolverine property being announced, and then the September after that, we're actually getting it in 2024. So I think 2024 is going to be the year of Wolverine. We're going to be seeing him show up with Deadpool, and obviously his film. I'm assuming that's the year that the Insomniac game is also going to release, because that is going to be massive. Maybe Deadpool shows up in that game too. Like, there's so many opportunities. There's so many costumes that I want to see. Like, if anyone can make the classic Wolverine costume work too, it's going to be Marvel Studios. They'll be able to do an amazing job with that. And full circle for Kevin Feige as well too. The X-Men films were some of
One of his
his
first
earliest films that
productions.
he worked on. with Marvel. And now he is the man in charge, and he could do anything he wants with his toy box, and everyone wants to play with his toys right now. This is amazing. This is amazing.
2024 right now, we've got Captain America, New World Order, Thunderbolts, Deadpool 3, Fantastic Four at the moment, and obviously there's so much more that probably hasn't been announced yet. That's a solid year.
What a year. There's so much to look forward to.
What storyline do you want to see these two in? I think that's like, where do you see these two?
Oh boy.
Like what are you imagining right now when it comes to these two characters on the screen for the first time? Two big iconic superheroes. What do you want?
I just want a big buddy action comedy that is R-rated, and I only say R-rated not because like the story content needs to be, but I just want to see blood and, you know, samurai swords and Wolverine claws tearing into people. Like, I wanted to see everything that we've always wanted to see from a Wolverine film, which we got in Logan, but I just want to see them embrace that comic book side, which we haven't really gotten on the film side. Logan is a very serious film, but I just want to see Wolverine go berserker mode. I want to see Deadpool just go full Deadpool and them just have a great time together. It's amazing that this is happening. I am just dumbfounded right now. This is incredible. This is amazing news.
Crazy.
Any final thoughts before we wrap up this little micro episode?
I just can't wait for 2024. Hopefully I'm not dead by then and I'm still alive
I hope
to
you're not either.
be able to watch it. But, you know, 2024 can't come any sooner.
Also, you know, X going to give it to you. You know, this is also, you know, two Canadian superheroes, which is pretty amazing. You know, we're getting two Canadians.
And we also have
directed by a Canadian.
Yeah, directed by a Canadian, Levy.
Directed by a Canadian, yeah.
So that's fantastic. It's just Canada on the board, destroying it.
Hey, listen, the movie podcast, Made in Canada, on the front page of Apple Podcasts right now under Made in Canada. Why wouldn't you want the Deadpool cast to be on our show? You know?
Exactly.
Let's make it happen. Let's manifest this for 2024. Hopefully we'll be able to, you know, do a cool social post 2 years from now and be like, hey, look, we manifested this 2 years from now. Or maybe the podcast doesn't exist. Who knows? You know, either way, thank you so much for listening to this micro episode. We're going to hopefully do more of these. And no matter where you're watching this, on Instagram, TikTok, on YouTube Shorts, we're really starting to expand the idea of what the movie podcast is and looks like. And I think this really works for social. And if you've watched this last 12 minutes, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Letterboxd at The Movie Podcast. Join us on Discord if you want to keep talking about this news. I'm sure our Discords will be blowing up all night, so make sure you join us. Let's talk about this. Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, Deadpool 3. I can't believe it.